On. Okay. Now I'll make a discussion of the positive and negative aspects of the socio-religious reform movements in the 19th century. Now already we have discussed in detail about a number of reformist movements, revivalist movements, the various principles set by them, the various approaches made by them, the various trends set by them. Overall, in the 19th century, the reformist and the revivalist trend, certainly they set the milestones in this particular sector, that is socio-religious reform sector. But there are some positive aspects as well as the negative aspects. Now see the positive aspects. The positive aspects of this socio-religious reform movements. Firstly, in the beginning, in the reformist era, the political consciousness of the Indians, that was almost absent. There was no such political movements in the first half of the 19th century. No such political movement. And in this era, if the socio-religious reform movement appeared in the first half of the 19th century, so it is said to be the cultural revolution more a cause for developing the political consciousness. Because political consciousness was absent almost. No political movement occurred, no political leader was there. No reputed political leader was there by this stage of time. Okay. It is the cultural revolution which more created a kind of political consciousness amongst the people. When the people, they started coming to know that we belong to a nation, we are having a culture of our own, we are having a tradition of our own, we are having a religion of our own. They started thinking that we belong to a nation, we belong to a society, and the rulers, they are the aliens. So directly or indirectly, this cultural revolution brought about a kind of political consciousness. So this is the first major aspect of this socio-religious reform movements. The second one is, it can be said that though this reformist movements in the beginning, they are more associated to Hinduism, bring about these changes in the Hindu system and the loopholes of this existing Hindu trends like sati system to be ended, child infanticide system to be ended, widow remarriage to be arranged, caste system to be ended, untouchability to be ended, so many trends. But even then, if you'll see, it is more a secular approach, as the other religions and sects are not targeted and criticized, This reform is more a method to bring about the betterment of the society, not at the cost of any other religion or any other sect. Okay, so it is more a secular approach. And the third one is, and this reforms, third one is that in this reforms, democratic approach was made. Though it is said to be the socio-religious reform era, but the approach is democratic. More the question is being put about whom, or more the which of the classes they become the concern of this reformist. Women, Dalits, sufferers, become the concern, become the concerns of the reformists. So this is said to be a democratic approach. It is not a method to make a political propaganda. It is not a method to get any leader highlighted. It is more a democratic approach. Only those people who are the suppressed, who are suppressed, who are the underprivileged, who are in a subdued position, they are being put as the concern of this reformist. And moreover, it is said to be a type of quietist revolution. Quietist revolution. There was no such propaganda being made in a very loud tone by organizing for the mass movements, more in a very quiet manner. But this view, this is to be ended. Okay, quietist movement it is said to be. Never any such propaganda by the means of mass movements or by organizing for seminars or conferences. Nothing. Just put your views, circulate it by the pamphlets, circulars, magazines, papers. More a quietist movement. And the next one is by this reformist movement, the so-called the cultural revolution which was going on in India. The Indians, via this movement, the Indians learnt the art of putting their grievances in front of the imperial masters. Imperial masters. They learned the art of putting their grievances in front of the imperial masters. You can put the examples over here. Example. And this is the art which is going to get adopted by the political leaders in the period of the national movement. This is the art which the political leaders they are going to adopt in the period of the national movement. Grievances. Example. Over the memorandum put by the Indians, a number of legislations were formed. Example, Anti-Sati Regulation, 1829, Widow Remarriage Act, 1856. Okay. So they learned the art of putting their grievances in front of the imperial masters. They started becoming a bit more bold by this cultural revolution, and this experience of theirs is going to become a positive gain for them during the national movement, when in the political terms they will start putting their grievances, their demands in front of the British masters or the imperial masters. Now the negative aspects of this social religious reform movements, negative aspects, just see the negative aspects. Firstly, less involvement of the masses. Less involvement of the masses. Though it was said to be that the socio-religious reform movement is more for the welfare of the society, for the general society, general masses, but the masses were absent. There was no such mass movement for making a propaganda of this views of this reformist. Second one is scattered in nature. For example, what the reformist approaches, what they are making, what the propagandas they are making in Bengal, they were less interacting with the reformist of Maharashtra, less interacting with the reformist of the Madras presidency. Even in Bengal itself, the reformist movements, they were not very much coordinated. For example, Ramakrishna Mission is having a different approach. Brahma Sabha is having a different approach. Okay, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar is having a different approach, all for the welfare of the society, for the betterment of the society. But less coordination was raised between them. And moreover, the third loophole is the reformists faced a number of contradictions at many stages. Many stages. The best example is example, example, contradictions at many stages over their own views, over their own views. Reformist of the Brahma Samaj, one group is saying this thing, other group is saying this thing. In the Arya Samaj, one group is in favor of Anglo-Vedic tradition, other in favor of the Vedic tradition. Example, the two splits in Brahma Samaj. Okay, two splits in Brahma Samaj, they were meeting contradictions over their own principles at many of the stages. Another negative aspect. And the fourth one is more the lead was taken by the elites only. General masses almost they were absent in gaining any kind of important responsibility or taking the lead. Only the elites were taking the lead. Whoever were the reformists, they belonged to the reputed families. They belonged to the modern intelligentsia group or organization or lobby. Okay. So the masses were absent, mass participation was absent. And the fifth one is in the second half, that is in the revivalist era, in the second half of the 19th century, communal environment was created. Communal environment was created by some of the major propagandas made by the Arya Samajist was created by some of the programs launched by the Arya Samajists, I think you can put the example over here when the Arya Samajists gave the slogan of back to the Vedas or Shuddhi movement or Gorakshani Sabha. The other lobbies, the other sects, they made some different interpretations over it, and thus they got created a situation of what? A communal environment, tussle in the name of the religion in the sect occurred, and thus rather than creating a kind of harmony, a kind of peaceful environment, the environment more got tensed, okay, disrupted by these approaches. So these are the negative aspects. Moreover, confined up to the urban zones. These movements were confined up to the urban zones. The people of the rural zones, the general masses, they were less aware of what the movement it is going on. But the thing is that whenever you get a question like this, criticize, then only you can put these points. Otherwise, only the positive aspects are to be dealt as far as the socio-religious reform movement is concerned. So this is all about the socio-religious reform movements of the 19th century. Okay. You can put your own views also at many of the aspects as far as this positive and negative aspect is concerned. Okay, this is all about the socio-religious reform movements. Okay.